If you're bored, start a business, and being vulnerable is a setup are the next two topics that I derived after spending time with God. I have been doing like one topic per video, but I think I wanted to double up in this video. I did also post another video earlier today. Shout out to you if you liked it, either on YouTube or on TikTok. I appreciate the support. The messages are just to bless you or to make you smile. But if you want to donate or something like that, I have my Cash App information in the description box on my YouTube channel, or you can go to reneebeingfamily.com, which is my website, to see whatever information that you may need. But y'all, it's so pretty outside. Look, guys, I've been coming here so often, and I realize like it's a lot of green pastures. It's a whole lot of green pastures where the Lord has brought me in this season of my life. And it is written that that is something that the Lord will do. He will lead you to green pastures, beautiful nature. And I don't know if it got something to do with like who I am, you know, like zodiac wise or whatever, but I just love nature. God did it. Like he knew, you know. Granted, it's something that we got to keep up. It's something that we got to take care of, but you know, you can definitely tell when the land is blessed. You can definitely tell when the land is blessed. But let me just go ahead and get into this topic. All right, so if you bored, start a business. And if you are hanging out with your friends and some family that are like friends, invite them to be a part of your business. Make them your first employees or your co-owners or whatever. Give them a job. You know, you start an LLC, go on and put them up there. Let them, you know, put them in position to always have employment. You feel me? I don't know who you are. And, you know, maybe you're in school right now. Maybe you already have a job yourself. You know what I'm saying? But you still have a lot of time where you are bored. Even at work, you find yourself bored. At school, you're not fulfilling a passion. You're not seeking purpose while you're at school. You are sitting there bored. People who are dating and you're only entertaining certain connections because you're bored. You're only having certain conversations because you're bored. Okay? That type of stuff make me bored. Don't hit me up because you bored. Okay? Start a business. And I'm not even talking about in the sense where I'm not being practical. I'm not being impractical. I'm not, you know, saying go drop that 350 or that 250. Some people know where you can start an LLC or start a business for free online. And you can get an EIN number. Do your research. I did mine through the state, so I had to pay fees. But I'm not saying that. In order to get that far, you want to make sure you have some sort of business plan. Like, what is your business about? What are you going to be doing? What is your schedule? Because although you are going to be working independently, you still are someone who is like, you're going to have a boss. Like, God is going to be your boss. God is going to give you intuitive unctions on what you should do, what services you should provide, the location, people that you should listen to, like Bob Proctor, Bill Gates. Investment opportunities. Like right now, you may not have a whole lot of money, but the way the Lord has been doing me is he's been flooding me with information about wealth and how to negotiate with and how other people have managed their success, you know. And even like when it comes to lottery, you know, people who win the lottery, how they avoided getting bankrupt and losing every single thing within the first 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So while you bored and you starting a business, start educating yourself on something that brings you interest. If you're in school seeking something that you want to do just to make money, like the thing about it is, see, today, the perpetuating message was, don't follow money, follow your future, follow your purpose, right? It's not about prosperity. It's about purpose. It's not about money. It's about having a mission. People get addicted when it comes to pursuing money. All right, so I'm gonna finish this message up here in the house before I go in there and start cooking dinner or whatever. When it comes to being vulnerable, it is my personal opinion that it is a setup, and I derived this personal opinion after spending time with God and talking to God about some things that I was experiencing, moments in which I thought me being vulnerable with a person was a compliment to them. You know, being vulnerable with the person, it is correlating with like giving a person the benefit of the doubt type of situation. Being vulnerable with a person, it's like when you give someone credit that they don't deserve. You know what I'm saying? And it's a setup. You know, there are some people that you are definitely safe to be vulnerable with, but there are other individuals that will prey on a person's vulnerability. They be banking and waiting on a person's vulnerability because they feel like it's a weak spot. But when it comes to people like me, it's not, because that's when God steps up. That's when Holy Spirit shows up and shows out. That's when Yeshua HaMashiach get to talking, you know. That's when he get to speaking over me, speaking over my life, to override any other negative, anything that was spoken against me, right? So when you get in, let's get into the definition of vulnerable. Dare I say, being bored puts you in a vulnerable position. And when it comes to the definition of being vulnerable, it says plainly, someone who is capable of being physically or emotionally wounded, someone who is open to attack or damage, someone who is liable to increased penalties but entitled to increased bonuses after winning a game in contract bridge, okay, for the bridge players. So being vulnerable is a setup, honey. And this is something that you have self-control over. You have free will. So once you get insight that you being a little vulnerable in certain situations, understand that it's a setup, babe. You're setting yourself up, babe. The only person that you really want to be vulnerable with is God. That's the main person that you want to get acclimated to being vulnerable with, so that when you do show vulnerability with the person, because you can show vulnerability without literally making yourself open and susceptible to attacks, right? So say you have something pending on your back, right? Say you got a bad report or whatever, and a person could attack your intelligence by saying, oh, you deserve that, or you're stupid for being in that position, right? By being vulnerable, you make yourself susceptible to being attacked. Ironically, this is the part of the video that my daughter wanted to come to my door and make all kind of noise and stuff like that. And my nose is starting to run. So I'm feeling like maybe this is like God confirming the message for me, because also intellectually, I feel led to talk about, or intuitively, I feel led to talk about the armor of God. The armor of God consists of a belt, a chest plate, shoes, a shield, helmet, and a sword. Shout out to Sheila. That's the name of my new sword. Unless the person that gave it to me is gonna be an Indian giver and ask for it back at some point. But by wearing a belt of truth, we can protect ourselves from lies of the enemy and how they try to disguise and things like that. Somebody said something like cloaking their energy. Like people be trying to cloak their energy. So like they could have a whole attitude with you, but be trying to cover it up and make it seem like they don't because they never said nothing. Or they don't because they never did anything, right? They're cloaking their energy. Also on the flip side, a person could be happy and jovial, but they got a rest and be face. They're cloaking their energy. When you have on the armor of God, it will help you able to see past the facades. Wearing the armor of God is powerful and necessary when walking in the world. It's incredibly easy to get swept away by worldly desires and not see the hidden lies of the devil tries to entice us with. This is coming from Ephesians 6:12. God says that we must resist the temptation of the enemy, but our enemies are not a physical person or but evil spirits. Okay, that's why it's essential for us to wear the armor of God as it's given to us. Okay, so every now and then the Lord will hand you a sword. Every now and then the Lord will hand you a shield. Every now and then the Lord will hand you your breastplate. He'll hand you your helmet, you know, because these evil spirits be entering people, be having them saying and doing all kind of crazy stuff. All right, so stay armored up, even when you're showing vulnerability, especially when you're showing vulnerability. So what the Lord just put in my spirit is like, the testimony is powerful. Share your testimony with the armor of God. Share your testimony from a healed place. Share your testimony from a place of victory. So when the little snake, backbiting, evil doing, reprobate minded individuals come to you speaking on your story, speaking on something you done got through, that you done been healed from, that you done been delivered from, you can still walk forward without being vulnerable. You can tell your testimony without being easily attacked, without feeling attacked and feeling like you don't have no covering. Okay, so I don't know, something about this blessed you. Share it with somebody close to you. Like the video so the algorithm can push it out to some other people. I'm sharing these messages for free. There are a lot of other, like hundreds of other videos that may feed your spirit. If this one did it for you, you know, if you like the vibe, subscribe to the channel. I do have music available if you're into hip-hop, grown folks music and things like that. Queen Summer has some stuff out there on Spotify, title, however you want to pronounce it. That's all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate any bit of support, any bit of love, any bit of energetic acknowledgement. You feel me? Like, acknowledgement goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? And till next time, just be blessed and at peace. Okay? Bye.